So what? What will the future bring? That's a big question. And right now we are facing a lot of uncertainty. Just read the news. That doesn't mean that we can't predict what is going to happen. There are certain things we do know. Let's look at the 3 digital accelerators. First, I want to take you back in time. 20 years ago, I was in Singapore. I was getting ready for a regional meeting with my colleagues from Maersk. Before the meeting, I was having a beer with 2 of my colleagues, and I was proudly showing off this new thing, my latest phone, the Nokia 8210. It was so small, it was light, and it was cool. It was only made better because it was also featured in the movie Charlie's Angels. So, cool phone, cool dude, it was awesome. As I'm talking about the phone, one of my colleagues leans in and he looks at me and says, I get it, that's great, but we're just getting started. You know, they're already working on technology that will allow you to take photos with your phone, store the photos on the phone, even have video clips. Imagine that, few megabyte video clips on your phone. And I was like, that's weird, really, but maybe that will happen. But for now, I'm just using my phone to call people and text, and that's great. And by the way, I'm cool. 20 years later, everything has changed. Now we all carry one of these. And it's not really a phone, it's a computer. But here's the interesting thing. Could we have predicted this 20 years ago? Yes, we could. And some people did. And they used what Daniel Burrus called the 3 digital accelerators. I just finished his book, The Anticipatory Organization, where he describes these 3 principles and how we can use them. So what are the 3 digital accelerators? Let's break it down. Number 1, computing power, processing power. So basically, how powerful is the brain in your computer? How much data can it handle at any given time? How fast can it run the programs? You might have heard of Moore's Law that was invented by Gordon Moore, one of the co-founders of Intel. And back in the days, he predicted that the computing processing power would double every 18 months and the cost would be cut in half. And that has been true ever since, which means that your computers, whether it is your laptop, iPad, your phone, are much, much more powerful than the ones you had 20 years ago. So the first accelerator is computing power. The next one, the second one, is bandwidth. So how much data can you transfer between you and me and how fast? I guess some of you remember back in the days when we had these dial-up modems that made a lot of noise, took a while to connect, and they were really slow. I remember downloading music where you were sitting there looking at that bar, moving so slowly that you could make coffee and go to the toilet and do a lot of other things before one song was downloaded. Now, most of us have fiber optics running into the house and it is like, boom, instant. Mobile bandwidth has gone from 2G, 3G, 4G, now we're getting 5G. What is coming after 5G? 6G and 7G. We know this. Again, the curve is exponential. We are moving really fast. Last accelerator, number 3, is digital storage. We all have stuff in the cloud. A lot of the things you have in your phone is not really on your phone. It's stored in iCloud, Google Photos, Google Drive, or another service like Dropbox. So, similar to the other 2, cloud storage has gone up exponentially and the cost of it has gone down dramatically. So you have 3 accelerators: computing power, bandwidth, and digital storage. And the beauty of this is that they don't work individually, they work combined. So you have more powerful computers, you can talk to these computers faster, and you can store a lot more. Everything cheaper and moving exponentially. So what's the point? The point is, if you know this and you sit down and think about it, you can start to predict the future. Here's what I suggest. Think of the tools that you use on a daily basis. Your phone, tablet, laptop, desktop, and ask yourself these questions. If the tools were 100 times as powerful and less expensive, what could you do professionally that you cannot do now? If your internet connection was 100 times as fast as it is now, what type of high-value services could you provide that would be impossible today? If you could store 100 times as much data at half the cost, how would this impact your business processes? If your customers could enjoy all the benefits of these changes, how would that impact their business? So here's the deal. This is just another short video from the bald dude in Hong Kong. Now, you can decide what you want to do about it, because whether you ignore this video or not, the 3 digital accelerators are real. And other people know these accelerators and they are using them to ask better questions and predict product and services for the future. So if I were you, I would embrace the accelerators. I would sit down, I would ask myself those questions to get better answers, because if you don't disrupt yourselves, other people will, and they will kick your butt. My name is Tomas and I'll be back with more videos on innovation. Until next time, make things better and make better things. Boom.